Hello, my friend, and welcome to Easy English Stories. Are you ready for an adventure? Today, we have a crazy story about a man who unexpectedly inherits millions. But there's a catch. And let me tell you, the way he spends this money will completely blow your mind. So stick around, because this is a story you don't want to miss. The goal of this video is to help you practice your listening skills. But if you want to take it a step further, you can also practice shadowing with me. What is shadowing, you ask? Shadowing is a method where you listen to a speaker and then repeat what they say, trying to copy their pronunciation, intonation, and rhythm. It's one of the best ways to improve your speaking ability because it helps you get used to the flow of natural conversation. How can you do this in this video? First, watch the story carefully and listen closely. Afterward, come back and try to repeat each sentence after me. Don't rush, take your time to focus on the way the words sound. Doing this every day will help you improve quickly and get closer to fluency. Now, are you ready to dive into our story? Well, let's begin. Chapter 1: The Crazy Challenge. Rahul Sharma was just an ordinary man, struggling to make ends meet in Mumbai. But everything changed with one unexpected phone call from London. "Mr. Sharma, I have some news for you. Your great-uncle has passed away and left you a fortune." Rahul almost dropped his phone. A fortune? Yes, he was a billionaire. And according to his will, you are his only heir. Rahul's heart raced. This was it, his dream come true. No more small paychecks. No more worries. There's just one condition. Rahul froze. Of course. There's always a catch. To receive the full inheritance of £100 million, you must first spend £5 million in the next 30 days. Rahul blinked. That's it? Just spend money? But there are rules. No donations, no investments, no giving it away. You must spend it on yourself. Rahul grinned. Piece of cake. Within hours, he was on a flight to London, ready to burn through millions. The challenge had begun. Chapter 2: Let the Spending Begin. The moment Rahul landed in London, he felt like a king. The city was cold, the air smelled of money, and he was about to spend like never before. All right, he thought. 5 million in 30 days? Let's do this. First stop, the Dorchester, one of London's most luxurious hotels. Rahul didn't just book a room, he booked the entire penthouse suite. £15,000 per night? No problem. "Sir, how many nights will you be staying?" the receptionist asked. Rahul grinned. "Let's start with a week." Next, he needed a car, not just any car, but the most ridiculous one he could find. He walked into a luxury car dealership, eyes scanning the showroom until he spotted it. A gold-plated Rolls-Royce Phantom. £500,000. Rahul didn't hesitate. "I'll take it." "Would you like financing options, sir?" the salesman asked. Rahul laughed. "No need. I'm paying in full." The salesman's jaw nearly hit the floor. Then came the shopping spree. Rahul hit Bond Street, buying designer suits, diamond-studded watches, and limited edition sneakers he didn't even like. He wasn't just shopping, he was on a mission to burn through millions. By the evening, his penthouse suite was filled with boxes of Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Rolex, and Prada. But something was missing. "I need a party," Rahul decided. And not just any party, the wildest, most extravagant party London had ever seen. To be continued. Chapter 3: The Wildest Party Ever. Rahul wanted a party, not just any party, but the most insane, over-the-top event London had ever seen. He rented an entire rooftop club with a view of the city skyline. The guest list? Open to anyone who wanted a night of madness. Celebrities, influencers, rich kids, and even total strangers walked in. No VIP sections, everyone was a VIP. The club transformed into a billionaire's playground. Rahul ordered gold-covered steaks, 10,000-pound champagne bottles, and even hired a private fireworks show. Ice sculptures of his own face decorated the venue. Then he had a crazy idea. What if I make it rain literally? Rahul grabbed stacks of 50-pound notes and started throwing them off the rooftop. The streets below turned into a frenzy as people scrambled for the free money. The police arrived, thinking it was some kind of riot. Meanwhile, inside, a famous DJ was playing, and dancers covered in diamonds performed on stage. People were screaming his name, Rahul Sharma, the man who had it all. But in the middle of the chaos, he saw her. A woman, standing quietly at the bar, sipping a drink. She wasn't impressed by the money or the madness. She just watched. Rahul walked up to her, not enjoying the party. She looked at him and smirked. It's fun watching rich men burn their money. For the first time that night, Rahul felt intrigued. Chapter 4. The Woman Who Stood Out. Rahul couldn't stop thinking about her, the woman who had barely looked at the chaos around her, the woman who wasn't interested in the flashy lights or the piles of cash. Who is she? Rahul kept asking himself. Determined to find out, he went over to her, leaving the madness behind. She was sitting at the bar, calm and composed, a stark contrast to the wild party. She didn't have that look of someone seeking attention or validation. Rahul took a deep breath and walked up to her. Mind if I join you? She looked up, not in surprise, but as if she had been expecting him. Sure, but you seem different from the rest of them, she replied with a slight smile. Rahul laughed, but there was something in her tone that caught his attention. I guess I am. I'm Rahul Sharma. Nice to meet you, Rahul. I'm Maya. As they talked, Rahul quickly realized that Maya wasn't impressed by his wealth. She didn't care about the luxurious cars, the expensive champagne, or the extravagant party. She didn't need anything he could offer. She had her own life, her own goals, and wasn't here for his money. This was new to Rahul. No one had ever treated him like this before. As the night went on, Rahul felt something shift inside him. For the first time, he didn't feel like the richest man in the room. Instead, he felt like someone who was being seen for who he truly was, not just his money. But Maya had one rule. If you want to know me, you need to let go of the things that define you. Rahul had never heard anything like this in his life. Chapter 5. The Challenge. Maya's words echoed in Rahul's mind. If you want to know me, you need to let go of the things that define you. At first, he thought she was joking. How could he let go of his money, his fame, his power? These were the very things that made him who he was. Without them, who would he be? But something about her made him curious. He wanted to see the world through her eyes, to understand why she wasn't impressed by the things that ruled his life. So Rahul made a bold decision. The next morning, he called his assistant and canceled every luxury service he had booked. The private jets, the high-end shopping sprees, the exclusive parties, they were all gone. Instead, he booked a small, modest hotel in the heart of the city. No more designer clothes, no more expensive meals. Just Rahul and his thoughts. Maya was intrigued when Rahul told her what he had done. Are you serious? She asked, raising an eyebrow. "I want to see what life is like without all of this," Rahul replied. Over the next few days, he lived like a regular person. He took the subway, ate at small street food stalls, and spent hours just walking through the city, soaking in the sights and sounds he had always ignored. At first, it was strange. He missed the comforts he was used to, the fame and admiration he received. But slowly, he started to realize something. He was happier. Chapter 6: The Realization. Rahul had spent a week in his modest hotel. He woke up every morning with the sound of the city instead of the hum of private jets. He went to bed every night without the usual luxuries, no extravagant meals or expensive parties to drown his thoughts. At first, the quiet was unsettling, the loneliness was heavy. But slowly, something changed inside him. He started to enjoy the simplicity of life. One afternoon, as he walked through the streets, he passed a group of teenagers playing football in a small park. They were laughing, shouting, and completely immersed in their game. It struck Rahul how different this moment was from the perfectly curated life he had known. He stopped and watched for a moment. Then he joined them. The kids were surprised at first. A man in a suit playing football with them? It was odd, but they didn't care. They treated Rahul like one of their own. There were no questions about his wealth or status, just pure innocent fun. For the first time in a long while, Rahul felt something he had almost forgotten: true happiness. Later that day, he sat down at a small cafe, sipping on a simple cup of tea. His mind raced with thoughts of how he had been living his life before. The luxury, the wealth, it had been a distraction. It had kept him from connecting with people, from seeing what truly mattered. The realization hit him like a ton of bricks. He didn't need all that money to be happy. He didn't need the fame, the constant attention, or the parties. He needed real connections. And Maya, she had been right all along. Chapter 7: The Change of Heart. Rahul's life had begun to change in ways he never expected. The more he embraced the simplicity of life, the more he realized how much he had been missing. Maya was still in his thoughts, her words lingering in his mind. "It's not about the money, Rahul. It's about finding what truly makes you happy." He had spent days wandering the streets of London, talking to people from all walks of life. He saw things differently now. The wealth he had once cherished seemed so shallow compared to the richness of human connection. Then one evening, Rahul received a text message from Maya: "Meet me at the park tomorrow." When he met her, she didn't need to say much. Her smile told him everything. She had noticed the change in him. But there was something else in her eyes, something he hadn't seen before. Maya had feelings for him, feelings she had been hiding. Rahul had always been distracted by his wealth and status, but now he could see her, truly see her. He realized that the connection they shared was more than just a friendship. They sat on a bench in the park, watching the world go by. It was a simple moment, but to Rahul, it felt like the most precious thing in the world. "You were right, Maya," Rahul said softly. "It's about finding what really matters. And for me, it's you." Maya looked at him, her eyes sparkling. "I'm glad you finally see that, Rahul. Now you can really start living." For the first time in years, Rahul felt a sense of peace. He didn't need money to feel complete. He didn't need anything other than this moment, with Maya by his side. Chapter 8: New Beginnings. Rahul's life had changed completely. The days of luxury, the endless parties, the empty glamour, they were all behind him now. In their place was something far more valuable: genuine happiness. It was a week after he had spent the evening with Maya in the park, and Rahul knew he was ready for a new chapter. He no longer cared about the millions of dollars in his account. What mattered now was the life he could build with purpose. Rahul had started small, helping local charities, working with businesses that made a positive impact in the community, and even starting a small startup aimed at providing opportunities for young people in underprivileged areas. It wasn't about making money, it was about creating change. Maya was by his side throughout it all. They spent their days together, not in lavish mansions or exotic locations, but in simple cafes, community events, and quiet walks in the park. She became his partner, his confidant, and his greatest support. Rahul realized that the love he had been searching for all along had been right in front of him. One evening, as they stood on a rooftop overlooking the lights of the city, Rahul turned to Maya. "I've learned more in these last few months than I did in all my years of wealth and power," Rahul said, his voice filled with emotion. Maya smiled softly, taking his hand. "You had to lose everything to see what really mattered. And now you're ready to live a life that means something." Rahul kissed her gently on the forehead. He had everything he needed now: love, purpose, and a future full of possibilities. The journey had just begun. "To new beginnings," he whispered. The city lights shimmered below, as if to signal that the best was yet to come. The end. And there you have it, Rahul's incredible transformation, from living for money to living with purpose. What a journey, right? If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to leave a comment below. What was your favorite part of Rahul's journey? Let me know. And if you want to hear more inspiring stories like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button and join us for more exciting adventures. Remember, if you want to improve your English, you can always practice shadowing by going back to the video and repeating the sentences after me. It's the best way to improve your speaking skills. Here's a little inspiration for you. True wealth is found not in what we have, but in who we become. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.